Good evening, Griever Gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. I'm here again with V. Now, I wanted to do another one of V's pretty soon after the last one, as the audio was very bad from my voice on that one. And I can't sleep, so I want something that's going to put me to sleep. Not to say that it's boring. His voice is smooth enough to put me to sleep, is what I'm saying. Now, I'm quite excited to hear this one, because this is one that people have been suggesting for the longest time. For the absolute longest time. I think from the first BTS video I did, people were recommending me to have a look at this. So my expectations are relatively high. And then after seeing his Tiny Desk video as well, and seeing the beauty of what he does in the kind of jazz space, I'm excited again. And I'm not going to lie, Le Jazz de Vie sounds French, and I'm not going to lie, I'm looking to get into some more French things at the moment. I've just recently finished the game Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and I want all of the French things. I want to know all of the French things. Seriously. I used to try to learn French back in high school, and it was bad. Yeah, I wonder if that teacher is still teaching, actually. I wonder if she's had a worse student than me. I would put money on that she hasn't. True, she probably hasn't. So anyway, let's have a look at this. Before we do begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. We're on the path currently to 100,000 subscribers. We're nearly at the 20,000 mark, so I'm really looking forward to hitting that milestone. So I would appreciate it if you guys do subscribe if you haven't already. But without any further ado, let's have a listen to Le Jazz de Vie. So I take it there's going to be a medley of his stuff, right?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
Sorry, I couldn't help
Take a
myself.
look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys on every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door.
Before we get into this next little bit here, I want to point out that there's something really interesting with how he's tackling this, right? So this is obviously a Western song sung by a person that's not a native English speaker, okay? So it's interesting to hear how somebody that is not a native English speaker approaches this. Now, I've gone into... now, the interesting thing is for me, right? So the way that we would kind of approach it here in the Western world is it would be a little bit more of an open sound, where it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start. Like there's that kind of slide. There's the that openness to it. Whereas the way that he approaches it, and I think it's part of what is so unique about his voice, is it's more closed off here. It says, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store. And the way that he handles the vowel sounds is very different, because it's probably much easier for him to handle it the way that he would phonically, what we call phonically, based upon, his accent and that sort of thing, right? I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's very different. I think it gives a really interesting spin on this. I'm very interested to see how he's going to do this next line, because for an English speaker, it's hard to not trip over this next part. So this is going to be interesting to me. I'm going to take it back a little bit here.
On your own front door, 어폐랑 한풀렁 부산 앞에서 the shows is the wish your Bonnie and Ben. Doors that are talking a call for the work is the hope of Janice and Jen.
Cool.
And mom and dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, there's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. It's the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that I'm making is the carol that you sing right within your heart.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. Once again, he has a group of phenomenal world-class musicians behind him that absolutely understand the assignment. You like a show like this, you need that jazz background for sure. You can tell they've got it. Insane. Oh, that's how they ended it. Very nice. Very nice start. Very nice start. Can I just say as well, I sincerely appreciate that this particular performance is done incredibly raw. And you can hear that it's done incredibly raw. You can hear every intonation in his voice. You can hear every shake and wobble, every little bit of organic life that's there. You know, that natural sort of progression of what the voice is meant to do. What tends to happen with a lot of these guys, and it happens not only in BTS videos, but in the Killing Voice videos that I did as well, is that when it comes to the production, there's usually this layer, this sound effect layer that goes over the top that makes it sound incredibly robotic and too perfect, which makes you wonder what they're hiding a lot of the time. We know better in the case of, say, Killing Voice and these guys, right? That they can actually sing what they're doing. But I understand a lot of people having that kind of concern of, why are you hiding that? I appreciate 100% that this is just raw. There's no added crap going on over the top. It is just unapologetically him, his voice, and this band. Wonderful.
감사합니다.
Is he just doing jazz standards? Because that's cool.
Heaven, I'm in heaven.
Actually, is Cheek to Cheek a jazz standard? Hang on.
So that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we are together, dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
I would say it is.
And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we are together, dancing cheek to cheek.
Interesting. Oh, ooh. Sorry, she hit one note and I'm excited. Interestingly, I just want to take it back here because there's something that I noticed here that is interesting to me. So I should go back and start doing more of these, but I was releasing videos called Saturdays of the Voice. And what I was doing with those, actually that might be the name of the weekly live stream I do when I start that. I don't know. Well, I'll work it out. My brain's not there right now. So I spoke about vowel sounds and how we approach vowel sounds when we sing, right? And we fall into a Latin vowel sound, so it's ah, e, o, and u. And what singers will do 9 times out of 10 is that they will fall into one or two that they do particularly well. For instance, I'm not one, like I can do most of them, but but E vowels are particularly difficult for me, right? E vowels, just for some reason, E vowels with the way my physiology is, don't tend to work as well as, say, an R vowel. Now, you can change those vowels in, you can change those vowels to suit you and to get the voice out better. The interesting thing for me, he's changing an E vowel to an air vowel, which is very, very unusual for an E vowel to be swapped to an air vowel. Usually, it would be an R vowel, maybe an O. No, vowel. What am I saying? Usually an R vowel. But hardly ever an air vowel. So hearing him do it, I'll go back and I'll explain what I mean.
And I seem to find the happiness I
seek. So happiness I seek would be how it's usually done. Happiness I seek. But the way he does it, happiness I seek. Seek. It's interesting. And it's part of, I think it's part of what gives him such a unique tone as well, is that he's changing it to a vowel that suits him that is not the norm for that vowel to be swapped into. I think it's an interesting choice. I'm going to ponder on that one a little bit more as well. I'm sorry, editor Jim here, still with one hell of a migraine. But rewatching this, I was completely wrong. So he does go for the air vowel. That is the normal vowel to go for. That is the normal vowel to change from E to an air vowel. I had it wrong in my head. I had it around the opposite way. That is completely on me. I do apologize. I like it.
all together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I love her voice. Oh my god.
Climb a mountain and reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek.
Oh, I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek. But
she's got a bit of a Gaga vibe. The tone in that lower thing. She's got a little bit of a Gaga vibe. That's what I'm hearing.
as much as dancing cheek to cheek.
Dance with me, I want my arms about you, the charms about you, we carry me through heaven.
Their voices blend so nicely together too.
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
I was hoping there was going to be a harmony there. See, what I would have done if I was music directing this, I would have had her do the third above harmony there, and it would have just for the note, just for the word cheek at the end of the line, would have just augmented it and made it really nice.
When we're all together, dancing cheek to cheek.
Yeah, they like kept that last line in unison, but changed that one prior. So that's not something that I wasn't expecting the two of them to have scat chops either. That's very interesting. And before anybody says anything, scat is the terminology used for the improvising that they're doing in a jazz setting. Don't be dirty.
To climb a mountain and reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek.
I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek.
Dance with me, I want my arms about you, the charms about you. We carry me through heaven. I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
Back to that
And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're all together, dancing cheek to cheek. All together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I feel validated. I feel genuinely validated that they did exactly what I was said that I would have got them to do. I didn't realize there was another go around that was coming, so that's interesting. Oh man. But it works really well. That was really nice. That just that little augment in the harmony in that second to last line, and then bring it back into unison for that last line. Very jazz, very beautiful, very well done. And God, it's beautiful, isn't it? Here's the thing, and I've had this conversation before with a number of people. I'd love to discuss this with a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine who is she's a school teacher that does a lot of this sort of it does a lot of like community, like society and culture is the subject here. I'm not sure if anywhere around the world do that other than here, but society and culture, where and she focuses very heavily on music, right? I'd love to have a chat with her as to what she thinks about where jazz is, because my thoughts on it at this particular point is that it is a dying art, and I feel like it needs to have a bit of a renaissance. I think it needs to be brought back. The thing is, I don't know how you would bring it back, because and what I mean is this, right? Okay, so we had Bublé come back, right? Sorry, Bublé come back. We had Bublé come in and redo a lot of those old jazz standards, right? We had a lot of them redone by him, and they were absolutely great. People were really into him for a while, and then his stuff became more poppy, and he found his niche in that sort of area, and that's totally fine. Jazz needs a change, but it still needs to be fundamentally jazz. And the best example of what I mean is today's country music, because country music today is not the same as it was in the 70s and 80s, right? It's completely different. It's gone through complete changes. And I believe a large part of that change started with Garth Brooks, where he kind of brought a more rock thing to it, right? So a lot of the country you get now is country rock. That's kind of where a lot of country music settles, or at least the most commercial form of country music these days tends to fall in that sort of rock, country rock area. You know, with people like Keith Urban, for instance, as well too. Like pop music would not be pop music without the blues. Sorry, not pop, rock. Like the rock that we have today would not be rock music without blues music. You know, blues music was absolutely the fundamental foundation of what we know as rock today. Without the blues artists, we wouldn't have had the Beatles, which in turn, without the Beatles, we wouldn't have, you know, Led Zeppelin. Without Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and that sort of era, we wouldn't have bands like, you know, Camelot, Nightwish, all of that we have today. Rock evolves, and I feel like jazz has unfortunately been relatively stagnant. But I'm hoping that V can pull some stuff out, man, because his voice suits it so incredibly well. That crooner sort of jazz standard side to him is good. It's really good. Like, does it show off his voice the way that the BTS stuff does? No, but it doesn't have to. The purpose of jazz, especially in this sort of style, is that easy listening. You go to a bar, right? You go to a bar, you sit in the corner, there's somebody in the opposite corner to you singing this sort of stuff, and you can have a conversation with your friends. Unlike going to, say, you know, a nightclub, you're having a drink or whatever, and your friend could be this close to you, like you could be nearly making out with your friend, and you can't hear a word that they're saying at the top of their lungs. It's a completely different vibe. Where is my brain at? I need sleep. But honestly, I think this will be phenomenal. I think, sorry, this was phenomenal. I think this was. I'm hoping that something really great comes from this. Truthfully. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like or favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe, do all that sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw here today, feel free to support me on Patreon, like the wonderful people listed here, for as little as $3 Australian, which works out around $2 US, €2, or £1.5 a month. Also, if you're into gaming, I have recently rebooted my gaming channel, so feel free to go on over there and have a look. Links to both the gaming channel and Patreon in the description below.